United States has signed a landmark deal with Taiwan aimed at boosting American semiconductor production and cutting tariffs on Taiwanese goods. The agreement also secures massive Taiwanese investments into the United States, signaling a major reshaping of the tech supply chain. Under this agreement, Washington will lower tariffs on Taiwanese goods to 15%, down from the previous 20% reciprocal rate. Sector-specific tariffs on auto parts, timber, lumber and wood products will also be capped at 15%, while generic pharmaceuticals and some natural resources face no reciprocal duties. Last year, remember, Taiwan's trade surplus with the US was around $74 billion, with over half of exports in semiconductors and other information and communications technology products.
We hereby report to everyone that the overall results of the negotiations is that our side has secured two most favored nation treatments with reciprocal tariffs set at 15% without accumulation. This is the lowest tariff rate among countries with which the United States has a trade deficit. The US side has promised to grant Taiwan most favored nation treatment should such tariffs be imposed.
Taiwanese chip and tech companies are set to make new direct investments totaling at least $250 billion in America. This includes expanding capacity in advanced semiconductors and AI. Taiwan will also provide credit guarantees of $250 billion to encourage additional investment and support that the US semiconductor supply chain has.
We believe this supply chain cooperation is not about moving but building. We are expanding our footprint in the United States to support the creation of a domestic US supply chain, but more importantly, this represents an extension and expansion of Taiwan's technology industry.
The deal has major implications for TSMC, which is the world's largest contract chip maker. TSMC has already purchased land in Arizona, and US rules will allow companies building new chip capacity to import up to 2.5 times their planned capacity duty-free during construction. Once the projects are complete, the quota lowers to 1.5 times. U.S. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick said that the goal is to bring 40% of Taiwan's semiconductor supply chain to the U.S., making the country more self-sufficient in chip production. The agreement follows narrowly targeted American duties on certain semiconductors exported to China and mirrors tariff deals with other partners, including the EU and Japan. Taiwanese industry leaders welcome the tariff cuts, but caution that small profit margins make it difficult to absorb any additional duties. Chris Wu of Litz High-Tech Corporation noted that the new rate of 15% aligns Taiwan with competitors like South Korea and Japan, but relief is vital for local businesses serving American customers. The deal, remember, comes after months of negotiation, with Taiwan also pledging increased defense spending. For the U.S., the agreement strengthens domestic chip production, supports advanced tech sectors, and reduces reliance on foreign supply chains. Experts say this marks a significant step toward reshoring critical semiconductor manufacturing. And for more on this, our correspondent from TVBS, Dimitri Brias, has sent us this report. Take a look.
What does a 15% tariff rate actually change for Taiwan's economy, and where does the $250 billion investment really come from? According to local think tanks, dropping from 32% to 15% cushions roughly 80% of the projected damage to exports, employment, and GDP growth. The non-stacking provision means products won't face double taxation. When most favorable nation plus reciprocal tariff falls below 15%, you simply pay that. But here's what most people miss about the $250 billion headline. It's actually a carefully crafted commitment to avoid accusation of forcing companies' hands on U.S. investment. As part of the agreement, Taiwan semiconductor and AI companies will invest $250 billion in the U.S. based on their existing expansion plans. At the same time, the government will provide a credit guarantee ceiling of 250 billion US dollars, not cash, backing bank loans for companies that need financing to expand in the US. Taiwan's track record offers some reassurance. Its SME credit guarantee system has maintained just a 1% claims rate over decades of operation. The deal is real and the tariff relief is significant, but understanding these distinctions matters for judging what Taiwan actually committed to. This is Dimitri Boyas in Taipei for TVBS World Taiwan.